Huge Ethereum news, as it seems we could be getting those Ethereum ETFs way sooner than initially anticipated. So that's very exciting. Lots of big altcoin news to cover today. Lots of big stuff happening in the Bitcoin space, happening in the political scene, all that kind of fun stuff to talk about. Let's get straight into it with, of course, the big story of the day, which is this. Marty Party sharing here. Breaking: the SEC is accelerating the approval process of the Ethereum ETF listing expected next week. Tell me you got a call from BlackRock without telling me you got a call from BlackRock. Larry's pissed, man. He's like, where are my Ethereum ETFs? Come on, we need to establish dominance here. Gary got the call. Gary wants to have a job after the SEC. He knows he's probably going to have a job pretty gosh darn soon when somebody else gets elected, probably at the end of the year. And he wants to get a job at one of the big banks again. Gary's going to play ball. Gary got the phone call from Larry. Now it's happening anyway. This is very, very interesting. So this is from the block reporting, but basically the S-1 Ethereum ETF amendments are being, the SEC said they're due this Friday. Get them in now. AKA, we need to get the process speeded up. We want to get these suckers listed. Cool, man. That's exciting. Why could this be happening? Of course, maybe political factors are pushing in here, where we're seeing, of course, Trump coming out very pro-crypto. We're seeing, of course, the White House wanting to catch up on that. More on that in a minute. Actually got some funny things to say about that. But very interesting to see this being accelerated like this. Because remember, initially, most analysts are saying it could be weeks or months before we even see this happening, a listing happening. But now listing could happen next week. That's pretty crazy. So Ethereum's seeing a little bump today. Nothing like the wild candle we had back here on the 20th of May when that last minute approval thing started rumoring around, and then blammo, of course, we got the approval actually happening. Let's see some listings happen. We might get another rally up. Maybe we even get a new all-time high for Ethereum if we get some listings next week for ETH. So definitely a story to be watching out for if you're trading Ethereum right now. Here's some big news that came in today too from BSCN, or a lot of other people probably reporting on it too. Anyway, Singapore's largest bank is holding nearly $650 million in Ethereum, according to blockchain analytics company Nansen. Singapore's largest bank, which is DBS, holds 173,753 ETH. This means that the wallet that Nansen identifies belonging to DBS boasts a portfolio of around $647 million. Wowzers. That is a lot of Ethereum, man. It's very interesting too, because DBS Bank, in case you guys aren't familiar, they've actually been very pro crypto for a while. They were talking, we covered the story maybe 2 years ago about them going to be offering Bitcoin and stuff to their customers. And Singapore is a very crypto friendly country anyway. It's kind of the global capital of the cryptocurrency markets. I know Dubai is fighting for that crown right now, but Singapore has definitely been the OG of crypto adoption globally. So the biggest Singapore bank holding a bunch of Ethereum. Great news. Not surprised, but great news. Kyle here pointing out, he says, I love Bitcoin, but I don't think it's worth holding in your portfolio right now. That's perhaps a controversial statement for some people. He says, it's pretty clear to me we're soon entering the 2021-2017 stage of the bull market. Yes, Bitcoin will do well, but Bitcoin dominance will head much lower. Time to be heavy in ETH, Sol, and altcoins. Let me know if you agree with his thoughts here. Do you agree with what he says? It's interesting. It's an interesting thought, because Bitcoin had its massive rally, of course, and we got up to 74K or whatever on the Bitcoin ETF hype. That was very exciting. Now we're getting Ethereum ETFs coming, and that's going to kick off a whole new wave of liquidity for the entire altcoin space. So let's say that between here and the end of the market cycle, Bitcoin goes to $180,000, $215,000, $220,000. And what are you actually looking at gains wise from there? For it's 70K now, approximately. You're looking at about 200% gains. 200% gains. Not bad, is it? However, and by the way, $215,000, that's the 3.618 Fibonacci line. That's an approximate target for me for the cycle. Obviously, it's not the only indicator we're looking at, but it's definitely interesting food for thought when you're looking at where could we end up price-wise at the end of the cycle. So 200% gains, very nice, especially if you bought much cheaper. But if you're looking now at the market and going, well, where am I going to make my money? You're not going to make it on Bitcoin right now. It's true. You need to seek greener pastures, riskier pastures, 100%. But even Ethereum is probably going to outperform that. Ethereum will go from 4,000 now to 15, 16,000, which was a slight outperformance of Bitcoin, not dramatically. Solana goes from, what is it, 180 or something like that, now up to $1,000. That outperforms both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then you start going down. Well, what's Avalanche do? What's Fantom do? What's Aerodrome and Jupiter and Brat do? What do some of like our low cap altcoins like Benji? What's that do? Right? A lot of potential in the altcoin space. And as much as I love Bitcoin, and I do love Bitcoin, big fan, you have to be honest with yourself that we're probably not going to go to $1 million this cycle. And even if we do go to $1 million, if we go to $1 million Bitcoin this cycle, which is not going to happen, I'm not in that camp. But if it were to happen, do you have any idea how hard your altcoins would pump? It would be wild beyond belief. Anyway, let's do a quick shout out to today's sponsors. Of course, I Trust. Guys, if you want a tax-free way of yes, I said tax-free. Listen up. If you want a tax-free way of trading crypto, you might want to look into iTrust. So you can bring over your existing IRA, roll over your 401k, other three-number retirement program. Basically, you wrap all your crypto trading within a retirement account, which is a tax-efficient account. Okay, you can do 1,000 trades over here. Never once at a taxable event. And they got all the popular coins. They got Solana, they got Dogecoin and Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that kind of cool stuff. A lot of other altcoins here as well. You can also get in-kind distributions later on, meaning you can pull out your actual coins. You can buy gold and silver, physical, real stuff via the partner with Kitco. Low cost, no monthly fees. They're the biggest IRA crypto provider by far in the game. If you want to learn more about them or just, claim your $100 funding bonus by checking out their account, there's a link in the description where you can check that out. Thanks again to iTrust for sponsoring today's stream. So first post reporting the U.S. stock market decline amid uncertainty surrounding potential Federal Reserve interest rate cuts. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped to its lowest level in nearly a month, closing down over 1%. The S&P 500 shed nearly 0.75%, while the Nasdaq lost almost 0.6%. Crypto dipped at the same time, of course, because we very much follow closely what the main markets are doing. Interesting that rates go up, markets freak out. Rates are about to go down, which means that there could be easier money in the market, essentially. When rates go down, companies can borrow more easily. People can ape into real estate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Good times roll. And so we're looking at that. There's no recession. If we had interest rate cuts in a recession, I'd say bad news bears, hold on to your butts, strap in, okay? But we're not in a recession. And they're looking at cutting interest rates, which when that's happened historically, when we're not in a recession and they do cut interest rates, can be a bullish momentum for the market. We shall see, of course. But the stock markets, man, they're so jittery. Those guys, anything, the wind blows, like, oh my gosh, sell right now. Crypto investors like nuclear Armageddon's happening. I guess I should buy some more Bitcoin then, huh? Not made the same. We're not made the same here, guys. I want to share this one with you from CryptoCon. This is pretty interesting. I better take myself off the screen so you guys can see the entirety of the picture here. There we go. Okay. He says, you're probably feeling pretty bored with Bitcoin right now, but that's all part of healthy price action. Using volatility, we can measure boredom in the market. Lack of price action. We've now spent 42 days in the low volatility boredom zone. This is only half the time we saw August to October 2023, which is one of the least volatile periods in Bitcoin's history. I don't know if you guys were around then. Do you remember that? It wasn't that long ago, but man, we had some days where the price of Bitcoin was closing within just a few $100s of the open and close. There was almost no price volatility at all. It was wild to see some days. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, noticeably boredom periods are much shorter than excitement expansion periods. These times of low volatility are crucial to build up support for the next leg up. Amen to that. Because the next leg up, it will come. It's only a question of when will it come, because it always does come. Okay. Hayden ETH here pointing out this in response to this exclusive from the block, saying the Biden campaign ramps up crypto industry outreach and surprising tone shift. My thought, screw you guys. You've spent the last 3.5 years attacking the living shit out of the cryptocurrency industry, and you should be punished at the ballot box for that. If you're not that I vote in the United States, I'm not American, don't vote there. But for those of you who are crypto issue voters. You really need to think about this. This guy has spent 3.5 years trying to crush your beloved industry. Oh, and now, a few months away from election, they're going to make a bunch of bullshit promises that are never going to come true. They're never going to come true. Hayden says, too little, too late. This is pandering to the crowd and missing the point. The Democratic establishment finally realized being anti-crypto by letting Warren run financial policy will lose elections. Amen. This is the crypto election, and the Democrats are in a tough position because they spent 3.5 years being the anti-crypto party. Hayden says, this is a big deal. Nothing politicians care about more than winning elections. It's a new era. Yep. Now, Dems may be too little too late to be pro-crypto this election. However, I think crypto is going to be a major election issue. Surprisingly, you may not think it, but it's really heating up. All the candidates are coming out talking about crypto all the time right now. Crypto rights in America are getting a big boost from this election, and that's a good thing. But I like Chris Bernitzky's response to this is, how do you do, fellow kids? It feels like that. That's the kind of person who's showing up saying, guys, we're gonna do some outreach to crypto companies. Meaning outreach in the forms of like not suing them. It's funny. Anyway, back to the rest of the news. MasterCard launches crypto credential, allowing users to send and receive crypto using a username instead of wallet address. MasterCard. One of the biggest credit card companies in the world just launched crypto credential, allowing users to send and receive crypto using a username instead of a wallet address. Did you hear what I just said? That's insane. Again, I know you're probably numb to the news by this point. This is 2024. This ain't 2017. It's not 2020. It's not 2021. But I'll tell you this. Any of these stories, a story like this, or most of everything else that I've covered today in the news, any of these stories would be gargantuanly, humongously huge back in those years. Now it's just a footnote. That's a huge story. Awesome. Great. Love to see it. Gumshoe here saying, shots fired. PayPal said Ethereum isn't a good choice for payments. By the way, they just launched their PYUSD stablecoin on Solana. Is Solana the chain for global payments? Well, as long as Solana is working, it's pretty good. But when you have failed transactions all the time and they have to turn the blockchain on and off, there's still some kinks being ironed out in the Solana world. But, I say that as somebody who uses Solana very frequently and has got a lot of financial interest in Solana doing well. I don't own much Solana. I own, 20 Sol or something like that I'm using for farming Sanctum right now. But beyond that, it's mostly just like ecosystem stuff. I own games like Neon Heroes, which is built on Solana. I own Jupiter, truckloads of Jupiter tokens, man. Oh, I hope that goes to at least $10. Let's go to $10. If we can get $20, man, I don't know. The yacht's going to be named Jupiter. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, let's not forget about Base either. Dope Oxide here pointing out daily new users on Base skyrocketing. Over 50,000 new wallets are using Base every single day. Just imagine what happens when Coinbase Smart Wallet rolls out, which could be happening as soon as next week. Nothing definitive at this point, but could be as soon as next week. And when the Smart Wallet comes out, dudes, it's not overnight, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. It's like that Smart Wallet comes out next day, 100 million people on Base. No. It'll take months, but that is just a massive, massive injection of rocket fuel for this entire bull run and on chain for all of our Base bags like Brett and Arrow and Benji and some of the other cool stuff that's starting to launch over on Base as well. All of these things are probably going to go way, way higher when the Smart Wallet happens and all these people start coming on chain. Guys, big announcements from Fantom. Nearly 80% of staked Fantom on Sonic nodes. Opera is officially upgraded. Our new innovative technology enables the chain to achieve 2,000 transactions per second realistic traffic, 4,000 transaction per second token swap, 10,000 transaction per second for token transfers, 1 second finality. It's here. Fantom's upgrading. This is the dark horse, in my opinion, to watch. Obviously, I own Fantom, guys. If you want to see my portfolio disclosures, anything I currently own, ambassadorships, OTC deals, venture investments, all that stuff. Link in the description, pin comment on X where you can find out all of my conflicts of interest in the coins that I own. Okay, there you go. By the way, speaking of the coin that I own, Avalanche. Valkyrie has introduced an Avalanche trust for traditional finance exposure to the AVAX token. The investment firm has already secured $25 million for the single asset trust. Big things coming to Avalanche. Definitely one to continue to watch out for. I feel like it's for such a big market cap coin doesn't get talked about nearly enough. I know Solana kind of sucks all the air out of the room. But man, Avalanche is doing some super cool stuff with their subnets. We have wildly good games coming like off the grid. We have all kinds of institutional adoption starting to happen over there. We have an Avalanche trust now as well. Emin here pointing out he's the founder and CEO of Ava Labs, the development studio behind Avalanche, pointing out massive upgrades coming this year. Hyper SDK, one command blockchain launch tooling, decoupled SMR, which means 100,000 transactions per second. Did you hear what I just said? 100,000 transactions per second coming to Avalanche. Watch out. Watch out. Come on. Come on. How are people not talking about this? Multidimensional fees, aka fee isolation, sovereign blockchains, the big merge upgrade, subnets. Lots of exciting stuff coming over here. Okay. So I am continuing to pay attention to the Avalanche ecosystem. I think there's huge potential there still for it. And I've got a big bag of Avalanche staking happily right now. Let's see what happens to it. Anyway, big news right across the space today. Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next.